Well, our thing is how we work and how we operate. It must make business sense on our side.
Let me get to you, because I understand that you have retired, you're 50-0, you walked away from the game, you made a lot of money, but you did make news sometime last year when people were talking about you returning. Now you're 43 years old, okay? I want to know where your head is at as it pertains to you.
Well, whatever reason it is that they want to see you, that reason is why you. It's not that you just deserve the money, because it's hard to do.
Right.
I have never encountered an athlete who, number one, flaunts his wealth the way Floyd flaunts his wealth, and who, number two, is so blindly full of himself to the fault of those who did pave the way. He did acknowledge that much, so I appreciate that much.
The man who once called himself the best ever is now dealing with big problems. Floyd Mayweather is caught in a major controversy, facing serious accusations of scams and rumors that he might be close to losing all his money.
I did it the hard way. You know, I'm a kid that came from poverty. I can remember being a kid living in Jersey with my mother. 7, I was living in a 1-bedroom. You know, no lights, no heat. Never cried, never complained. Just worked hard to get to where I got to in life. It's been hard work.
When Floyd changed from Pretty Boy Floyd to Money Mayweather, everything shifted. He wasn't just known for his amazing boxing defense anymore. He started calling himself a symbol of wealth and success. His focus moved from being a great boxer to showing off how rich he was.
If you want to look at guys that never got hit, Floyd went his entire career, got hit hard like 3 or 4 times, ever.
Yeah. When he fought Diego Chico Corrales, which was one of my favorite all-time fights, you know, because it was like there was nothing for Diego to hit, and then all of a sudden he just bounced in his face, bop, left hook from like 5 feet away. That's a Mayweather that I think nobody could possibly maybe beat.
That was the Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather.
Pretty Boy
that was
Floyd.
before he became Money Mayweather.
He turned himself into a brand, always showing off luxury and money. Instead of just being famous for his boxing skills, he became known for his expensive lifestyle, earning millions for each fight and becoming one of the richest athletes ever.
It's just complete genius.
Yes.
First of all, from just changing his style, right? He broke his hands a lot. So when he was younger, they called him Pretty Boy Floyd.
Yeah.
And then he changed his name to Money. And when he changed his name to Money, he turns heel.
Yeah.
He became like this guy, and everybody wanted to see him get beat.
Yeah.
And he's the most unhittable guy in the history of the sport.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's interesting when fighters figure out ways to do that too, like what Floyd is doing. What Floyd is doing is so interesting. He retires from fighting, and he says, I'll just start boxing people who have no chance.
Hey, why not?
Floyd started out making $3 million per fight, but everything changed when he chose to go independent. That bold move helped him make billions and become the highest paid athlete in the world. By leaving promoters behind and running things his own way, he built a career unlike anyone else in boxing.
Floyd Mayweather was the highest paid athlete in the world, and you won't believe why. Early in his career, Floyd partnered with a fight promoter where he was making $3 million a fight, but he wasn't satisfied. He thought he could make way more with pay-per-view and wanted out of his contract. So he bet on himself and paid his manager $750,000 to get out. And you won't believe what happened next, so drop a follow. This would prove to be a huge win for Floyd, and after going independent, he made nearly $1 billion and became the highest paid athlete in the world.
But along with his riches came problems at home. Floyd's father said they used to get along fine before the big money came in. Once Floyd got rich, he started spending wildly on cars, buildings, and Morand. This led to arguments. Said money changes people, and it definitely changed their bond.
We have never had an argument in our life, me and him. Then we had an argument on what was the name of it? HBO. We was on HBO. Then another time we argued over by the car. I'm saying, man, what is all this about now? I'm just saying, you know, and we never had no argument. All of a sudden, it is what it is. Sometimes, you know, hey, when people get It ain't about me training or anything like that. People get money, man. Things change. I don't care whether it's your father, mother, whoever. Father, mother, brother, sister, name it. You know, if sometimes when people get money.
As Floyd got richer, his ego also grew. This made him lose some close friendships, including people who had been with him for years. Mike Tyson criticized Floyd's arrogance, saying it wasn't something to be proud of. Tyson urged him to stay grounded and remember reality, no matter how wealthy he became.
How do you feel about Floyd, though?
Huh?
How do you feel about
Awesome
Floyd?
fighter, great fighter. You know, he's a little too into himself. You know, he should be. I was the same way too, but you have to come to reality some way. You have to bring your head down to God. We're nothing to be fucking arrogant. You expect us to be ignorant and arrogant. Look where we came from.
That's why I asked the question earlier about you mentoring fighters, because I feel like Floyd looked at you growing up like every other fighter. And the persona and the lifestyle was like, growing up in the hood, we looked at it like, that's Mike Tyson. We see the cars, the jewelry, the flair. Like you was a movie star. You was a hero.
I didn't see that.
Floyd's friendship with rapper 50 Cent was once one of the most talked about in the entertainment world. But as Floyd got more obsessed with money, their relationship fell apart. 50 Cent said Floyd became too focused on cash and acted like he never needed help from anyone, even those who were there from the beginning.
They're going, yo, when you gonna give me the money?
Because you had already invested.
Yeah. Right, like when you gonna give me your half of the money back. But I ain't trying to press him because he just got out of jail, right? So it's like, let him cool his heels before you.
Was that in the millions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you sitting there big, and I'm like, yo, so when, but see, the fighters are an asset in themselves. They are that talent, regardlessly. Right. You know, so I'm looking at him going, so there ain't no pressure there, but I'm saying, when is he going to say he wants to, to give me the other half of it? Why I got to ask you for it?
Right.
And then when
are we talking over $2 million?
It's about that.
Oh, okay.
At that point, it was, invested in.
All right.
So look, he goes, when he finally does bring up the actual, the situation, he acted like he didn't know anything. Like, I didn't tell y'all to do that. I didn't tell you to do that.
Oh, man.
He said something to me one time, very simple. He said, what a prize fighter fight for? And I'm like, and he said, the prize. So it's okay for you to watch the fight. Don't nobody watch Floyd fight to see how amazing he is. They watch it for the opportunity to see him lose.
Right.
Because they don't like him. They don't like him because everything that he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values. There's no, like the people's champ, like Ali was standing for the same things.
Right.
The audience was standing for. He doesn't have any of that. It's just money. You know what I'm saying? And that, he knows you don't like him.
Floyd also lost a rising star, boxer Gervonta "Tank" Davis, who felt he was being used. Tank said Floyd kept him dependent, and even though he was earning money from fights, Floyd didn't pay him fairly. That pushed Tank to cut ties with him completely.
Or I'm going to be back asking you for money. Nah, why would I do that? I give her a couple dollars. I take some, whatever, whenever you need some money, you feel me? But when I was legit to be able to get her out the hood, that's what I did.
Like, I had to learn that coming up that, like, a motherfucker will put you in a position to always need him. And, like, to the world, it might look like that's a great person. But, like, to somebody to understand, you understand, like, what Kendrick Lamar say? Nah, that's a master manipulator. Like, because if I got to put you in a position that always need me, you always got to, I'm going to just give you crumbs. And we hear it a lot. Like, if I'm nigga, what's $1,000? You know what I'm trying to say? But to you who don't have it, is a lot. And I know you going to go to war for that $1,000. So me understanding that, $48 of plot power, I'm going to always feed you a little bit so you can be excited and do just enough to come back around.
But I ain't really, it's put me in a position to be able to, make my own thing. And I don't want to say no name, but they wind up catching it. The people that's over top of me, I mean, like, I was signed to him, and Floyd signed to him. So the person that, he said, okay, cool, I see what's going on. That's when he started taking over my career.
Tank also accused Floyd of not being able to handle someone else becoming bigger than him. Said Floyd got jealous of fighters making more money or being seen as better. He even claimed that Muhammad Ali wasn't greater than him.
I'm on record to say this. Okay. Out of all these guys in the history of boxing,
yes,
I've accomplished more than every fighter in the history of boxing.
Okay, Ali.
Is Ali the same fighter that got beat by a fighter with 7 fights? Leon Spinks beat Muhammad Ali when he only had 7 fights.
Yes.
And if we really tell the truth, if we really tell the truth,
well, that's what you're here for. You're here to tell the truth.
What's the heavyweight guy that Ali fought 3 times? Ken Norton, actually.
Ken Norton.
Ken Norton really beat Ali all 3 times. Go back and look at the fights. I mean, we just telling the truth. And I love Ali, of course.
Floyd's cocky attitude didn't stop with friends. It spread to the public too. Kept showing off his wealth, and people began to dislike him even more. His habit of making bold statements, like saying he was the greatest, no matter what others did, it made fans and critics turn against him.
In all of my career, I have never encountered an athlete who, number one, flaunts his wealth the way Floyd flaunts his wealth, and who, number two, is so blindly full of himself to the fault of those who did pave the way. He did acknowledge that much, so I appreciate that much. But the way he just blithely scoffed at Ali's accomplishments, it wasn't just disrespectful, Stephen A. Smith. It was flat out blasphemous. Now, to your credit, you did go back at him. You can't. Okay, and to Floyd's credit, you know what? Early in Ali's career, he did get dropped. Not by Burt Cooper, by Henry Cooper in London. He fought him twice in London. And he did get dropped, and he got right back up and won the fight.
Because of his flashy behavior and constant bragging, Floyd became one of the most disliked boxers ever. He acted like he didn't care what people thought and kept fighting in exhibitions or real matches anyway. His attitude made fans question his reasons for still being in the ring.
They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my fucking jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like, he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like, this is $1 million worth of watches, this watch goes for $2 million. And
my most expensive watch that I currently own is $18 million.
One watch. And so you hate him. People hate him.
He creates envy.
Yes. Yeah, he creates envy, and you want him to lose, but he's not gonna.
After quitting professional boxing, Floyd moved to exhibition matches. But many people criticized these fights, saying he was damaging his own legacy just to make quick money by fighting lesser-known opponents.
Floyd, what does it mean for you to go out on your terms, not on anybody else's terms, but you to make the decision, you know what, this is it, I don't care what all you guys say, I'm out of here, I'm done?
I mean, I think I think I just had a game plan. I had a brilliant game plan. The game plan was to be very outspoken. You know, I was born with personality. I was born with charisma. Speak my mind. Speak from the heart. You know, I don't hate or dislike anyone. I want to go out there, you know, and just do what I have to do inside that square circle. Choose a tremendous team on the outside that's going to help me take things to the next level, and that's what I did.
These exhibition fights got a bad reputation. Critics said they were more about getting paid than giving fans real entertainment. The fights didn't seem meaningful or competitive, they were just seen as easy paydays.
Yeah, that's the shot. But you know what it is? I think obviously with Floyd, he gets the biggest percentage of the purse, isn't it?
Yeah, but he can still get the biggest percentage of the purse.
Yeah, but Ricky Hatton's going to want more. He'll want more. He'll want more.
He'll want more?
Yeah.
But I'm sure when they fought in their heyday, Floyd got more.
Yeah, of course.
So, you know what I'm saying?
No, but Floyd wants like 95% more. 90% more. You know what I'm saying? It's not like...
He's like 95-5. Yeah, that's how he likes to do it, isn't it? Because I'm not going to lie, if Floyd fought Ricky, both of them now, catch weight, 154, O2 Arena, it will sell out.
It will sell out. It will sell out.
Floyd's reputation took another hit when people said he didn't pay them after fights. Boxers like Deji and Logan Paul claimed Floyd didn't give them the full amounts promised for their exhibition matches.
Because I see a lot of people, people always bring up the fighter pay with the UFC, but
isn't Logan complaining right now that he didn't get his checks from Floyd? Is that like a boxing issue versus
you
not a
don't
boxing
you
thing?
don't ever hear that coming out.
To this day,
you hear a guy
right
going,
now-
I want to make $30 million. I didn't get paid enough. You don't ever hear guys going, yeah, they didn't pay me yet, ever.
Is that like a boxing issue?
Well, here's what happens when you go in and you do these fights, and you make them. And Hunter, correct me if I'm wrong. You do these fights that are exhibitions or whatever. The commission isn't overseeing it. So let's say I did a fight with Mike. I got Mike fighting, Francis or something. The athletic commission gets the money up front, so they pay the fighters. They don't have to wait for. That was the big problem in the past, is that these boxing promoters would come in and they wouldn't make as much money as they thought they were going to do, so they would stiff the fighters and not pay the guys. And that's why these regulations are in place in these different states.
Over time, Floyd's fame started to fade. He was once a dominant figure in boxing, but now his offering actions were hurting his legacy. Reports of a $42 million scam and questions about his financial deals worsened things. It was even reported that he was stuck in Dubai because of unpaid debts.
There was some drama going on about Floyd Mayweather being stuck in Dubai. However, that man was at Game 5 of the Clippers game. He's claiming that he is stuck in Dubai because there's debts that he has to pay off and they're not letting him leave. And we're sitting at Game 5 and I look over and I'm like, dude, that's Floyd Mayweather. Royce takes a video of Floyd Mayweather at the Clippers game, posts it on his TikTok. It goes viral. He posts 2 videos, both go viral. And the comments, nobody is believing him. They're like, that's not really Floyd. That's a clone. Floyd's stuck in Dubai. And the crazy thing was, usually when you're at these games, they'll have like, oh, special guest, celebrity of the night. They didn't show Floyd on the thing. But we have it on camera. But go check out Royce's videos if you guys want to see it.
Floyd worked hard to show the world he was the richest athlete ever. He often bragged about how much money he made and said no one in sports history could compete with his success.
What did you see when you watched that fight?
Look, Floyd needs to keep doing what he's doing, which is fighting complete tomato cans who we've never heard of before. I've never seen anybody in the history of America get so rich and so famous out of having complete wimps throwing punch at their faces. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, well, it's happened before. What about Rihanna? Shame on you. I will not stand for that. I will not stand for that. But, however, boxing has a misconception. Too soon? Was it too soon?
Fighter Chael Sonnen said Floyd only kept doing exhibition fights for the money. With all his past earnings, Sonnen believed Floyd didn't need to fight anymore. He saw it as Floyd trading his legacy and pride just to get paid.
I know that Floyd is still getting in there as recently as this weekend because he needed the money.
You think Floyd's fighting because he needs the money?
Yeah.
Really? Why? You think he blew through all of his money? Get the fuck.
Well, he blew through a lot of it, but I'm sharing for you, it wasn't what you thought it was.
He blew through it and wasn't making as much as
they're
says.
claiming he was doing $100 million a fight, and I'm claiming for you, he in his whole career has made about $100 million. There's a very
wow.
Floyd had this long career. I could imagine him making more than $100 million.
I understand that. Floyd was not Muhammad Ali, and Floyd wasn't Mike Tyson. I got it. I know people think he made 130 in a night. I'm sharing with you, he didn't, and no boxer has. No boxer's ever made 130 million in one night. This is silly. Floyd Mayweather has closed down a mall. He has rented out the entire mall, and he spent $15 million. The proof that this happened is Floyd at a mall and Floyd with a bag of cash that probably had about 100 grand in it. He says, man, I'm a VIP, I'm a VP, I'm a VVVVIP. Do you want to know why he was whispering, guys? He was whispering so that he didn't disrupt the employees and fellow shoppers at the mall. It's okay. This is a gimmick. Floyd did everything that Floyd is supposed to do. It's strange that a 50-year-old man would continue to do what he did when he was 28 years old. That's strange.
Boxing promoter Eddie Hearn also criticized Floyd's new style, called his fights boring, and claimed Floyd cared more about pay-per-view numbers than giving fans a good show. Hearn believed Floyd had changed from a serious athlete into a money-chasing entertainer.
Somewhere between 2,000 and 4,000, something like that, if that.
I believe so.
We've had some bad ones, but I've seen a map. Someone posted a map yesterday. I mean, I don't know anyone that even knows Floyd Mayweather is fighting on Saturday. Who is putting the money up for these events? Like, I think that the Mayweather fights are so naff, to be honest with you. But I don't actually mind. Like, at least Aaron Chalmers will go out and he can box and he'll have a go and like whatever. But literally no one knows that is even happening. Someone has hired out the O2 Arena thinking they're going to sell out the O2 Arena with Floyd Mayweather, and they are going to do a couple of 100,000 buys on pay-per-view. It's either going to get cancelled before Saturday, or someone is going to do their absolute conkers, or people are not going to get paid.
After years of big spending and buying luxury items, Floyd's fortune is now almost gone. His career is behind him, and his effort to stay in the spotlight through exhibitions has faced harsh criticism. Things got worse when he was linked to a $42 million scam. Business Insider also revealed he didn't fully own the 62 buildings he bragged about, leading to more anger and claims that he had been lying.
There is a little bit of embellishing that you kind of have to do in order to get your foot in the door with some of these folks, because they otherwise ain't going to deal with you. So it does require a little bit of fake it till you make it. I'm not saying that that report is true. I'm just simply saying that if there were some validity to that, that's not really the end of the world. He ain't lying about having ownership. He just may have embellished the truth about having no partners. Also, you got people calling him broke, which is crazy to me, man.